Welcome back, 5th grade. I hope you've had a great Thursday. This is the video for Friday for math. We are going to work on just a couple on the front. We're primarily going to work on the back, but unlike yesterday's page, we're not going to do the whole page together. This page is very much a review of what we did yesterday, and then we're adding just one or two new things that I think you will find pretty simple. We'll spend most of our time on those new things to help make sure we understand them. Numbers 1 through 6 are almost exactly what we did yesterday. Again, today you'll need your paper, your pencil, and your handy dandy protractor because we're going to be measuring angles, but we're also going to be making angles. So that's where we'll spend most of our time today, making sure we know how to make those angles. I'm going to show you a few cool tricks. So at the top it says classify the angles as acute, obtuse, or right, and then use a protractor to find the measure of the angle. We did a lot of this yesterday. So this first one, we look and we see that this is a very small angle. It is not like this one where that one looks like it probably is a 90-degree angle. So it is smaller than 90 degrees, which means it is an acute angle. Now we're going to measure just like we did yesterday when we measured our angles. And we're going to put this in the little circle in the hole. And then we're going to line up that bottom one. Again, you may get a piece of paper or a sticky note or something. A note card actually is super duper helpful in these cases to help you to see where this line is going to line up. I'm going to do it with a sticky note today. Hopefully it doesn't stick to everything. We know that this angle is smaller than the 130 and 140 because it's less than 90. So it comes in between 50 and we know the number that is hidden here is the number 40, which means that it measures right here at that 45. So this is going to be 45 degrees. Then the next one, I am pretty sure that is a right angle, but we're going to measure just to make sure. We're going to put our dot in the hole, line up our line on the other line, and then we're going to put our sticky note there, and it does in fact measure right up there to 90 degrees. It's a little difficult to see with my words there, but this is a 90-degree angle, which means it is a right angle. Then the last one we're going to do for the top is this one. I'm going to let you do 4, 5, and 6 all on your own. Make sure you do go back and complete those. We're going to line up the dot in the hole. We're going to line up the protractor line with the line that they've drawn for us. This one I can tell already is bigger than 90 degrees because 90 degrees is here. So we know it's obtuse, which means we're going to be looking for something that's more than 90 degrees, and it lines right up with this tick mark, which is 110 degrees, and that makes it an obtuse angle. All right, like I said, go ahead and do 4, 5, and 6. If you want to pause the video really quick and do those, that is fine, but I'm not going to do those 3 on the video. This is very much review from what we did yesterday. What I do want to focus on is down here at the bottom. At the bottom, it says to classify the angle as acute, obtuse, or right, and then use a protractor to draw and label the ray that completes the angle. Remember, 2 rays make up one angle. A ray has an end point, and then it goes in one direction forever. So this one says that this is going to be angle DEF. Well, we have E and F. We're going to draw ray ED, and it says that it's 75 degrees. Well, we know if it's 75 degrees, that is less than 90. We're going to be making an acute angle. And now I'm going to use my protractor to draw an angle. Now, this is a little bit tricky, or it can be. So what you want to do is, obviously, we're still going to have the dot here. We're going to line up the line with the arrow here, and then I want you to watch what I do up here. I know it's acute, so I'm going to be on this inside line right here. I don't want to be on the outside line. And I'm going to find, if it's pointing this way, I'm going to find where it says 75 on here. So 60 would be here, 70, 75 is right here. I'm going to make a small dot. You're like, oh no, it's above the directions. It is, but no worries. We're just going to use that dot to line it up so we can make the angle. We're not going to draw all the way to the dot. So now I'm going to use the edge of my protractor. And I'm going to put the edge of my protractor on this dot and on this dot. And then that's going to make a straight line for me. I'm going to go about to right there and stop. If I kept drawing, it would go through the dot, which is what it should do. But I'm going to stop. I'm going to put my arrow here, and I'm going to put a point. And we know because it says down here it's angle DEF, we know that this is point D. And then again, I can go back and double check. I can take my sticky note, and I can make sure that my line measures 75 degrees, right in the middle there. Now, this one is a 90-degree angle. We know that all 90-degree angles are right angles. We're going to draw it, so we're going to put our point right here. We're going to line up that line, get it all lined up really well. And then 90 for the top and the bottom are in the same place. I'm going to put a little dot right here. Okay, again, it's above the directions. That's okay. That's just to help me draw. Then I'm going to line up my S dot. I'm going to do it on this side actually. I'm going to line up my S dot and the dot that's up at the top. And I'm going to draw a line, basically using my protractor like a ruler. I'll pull that away. I'm going to mark this. This is angle UST. So I'm going to write a T. And then we're going to do something a little bit different because this is a right angle. We want to mark with a box that it is a right angle. Then the last one is number 9. 110 tells me it's over 90 degrees, which means it's an obtuse angle. I'm going to take my protractor again. I'm going to put it in there, line up the dot in the hole, line up the line right there. And now I'm going to find 110. Well, I'm going to go, since the line is pointing this way, I'm going to go on the inside line. So I'm going to go all the way down until I find 110. I'm going to make my dot right there. Then I'm going to take my protractor. I'm going to line up dot Y and the dot that's way up there. And then I'm going to draw my line just like that. Then I'm going to put the arrow there because it is a ray. And then I need to label this ray. We have X, Y, Z. So this is going to be point Z. Now, if you want, you can always go back and erase these. These were just reference points for you. They don't actually even have to stay on there. You are just using them to measure and draw your angles, and that's what those should look like. Let's go ahead and flip it over. On the back is something a little bit new to us. Okay, it talks about straight angles. It says that all straight angles measure 180 degrees. We learned that previously. It says angle VWX is a straight angle. So VWX is a straight angle. And angle VWX is 180 degrees. Then it says find the measure of the unknown angle using what you know about straight angles. So angle VWX is a straight angle. It measures 180 degrees. Angle VWY is an acute angle and measures 60 degrees. They gave us that information. But they want to know what angle YWX, what is the measurement of this angle? Well, we know first of all that it's obtuse because it's much bigger than 90. So what do? We're going to do 60 plus N, that's our unknown or a blank, equals 180 degrees because these two angles added together have to equal 180 degrees. They have to equal this straight angle here, okay? Because it's as if that doesn't exist. Those angles together have to make 180 degrees. So we've got 60 here, and we have to get the rest of it here. Well, we know that whatever we do to one side, we have to do the other side. We subtract 60 on this side to get n by itself. So we subtract 60 on this side, which makes it 120, which means this angle is 120 degrees. We're going to work a few of these to really help us to understand how to find the other angle. Complete the equation to find the measure of the unknown angle. So this says we know x, y, z is a straight angle. It's 180 degrees. We know x, y, w is 40 degrees. We want to figure out what this side is going to be. So our known is 40 degrees plus n equals 180 degrees. Now on this side, I need to get n by itself, so I subtract 40 and I'm left with n. And whatever I do to one side, I must do to the other to keep it equal. So we're going to subtract 40 degrees. 180 minus 40 is 140 degrees, which means the measure of that angle is 140 degrees. Then we come over here and we have NOP. That's a straight angle. It's 180 degrees. We know this angle POM, is 80 degrees. We want to figure out what the other side is. They have to total 180. So my known is 80 degrees plus n equals 180 degrees. I subtract 80 degrees on this side to get n by itself. Whatever I do to one side, I must do to the other to keep them equal. So I subtract 80 degrees on the other side. 180 degrees minus 80 degrees is 100 degrees. So angle NOM, is 100 degrees. Okay, so we've got angle POM or MOP, and we have angle NOM. All right, let's come down to number 12. I want you to try number 12 on your own. So I want you to set it up correctly and figure out what angle KJL is. So go ahead and pause the video and then press play once you've done the work. All right, let's see how we did. We have HJK is our 180 degree straight angle. We know that HJL is 115 degrees. We don't know what KJL is. We have a question mark. So our known is 115. So 115 degrees plus n equals 180 degrees. Now on this side, I'm going to take away 115. I'm going to do the same on this side to keep them equal and get n all by itself. So now I have 180 minus 115, and that gives me 65 degrees, which means the angle KJL measures 65 degrees. And you can always check by adding 65 to 115, and you'll get 180. If you got that one right, I want you to put a happy face up here by the number 12. If you did not, go ahead and fix your mistake, and I want you to circle the number 12. So happy face if it was right, and then circle if it was not. Number 13, we're going to complete the angles and use a protractor to draw one ray from point A to form two angles. Then we're going to label the other point on the ray point L. So we're going to have Pal and Sal. So angle PAL, P-A-L, is going to be 50 degrees, and angle SAL, S-A-L, is going to be 130 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my protractor. We're going to line up that dot. We always start the same with our protractor every time. We have that dot in the hole, and then for this one, it's a straight angle, so these both have to match up. Then I only need to measure out one of these, because as long as I can find one of them, when I draw my ray, the other one will automatically measure that on the other side, because this angle is 180 degrees. So I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to find 50. And I'm going to put my dot right here, right by 50 like we did on the front. Then I'm going to take my protractor, I'm going to line it up with point A and my dot, and I'm going to draw a ray. Then I'm going to put the arrow at the end, and they told me to label this point L. So this is point L. This is 50 degrees. We just measured it. And just to show you that it does work, we're going to line that back up again. We're going to look where this goes is to 50, and the opposite number is 130. So when we measure this, if we measure it going this way, we get to 130. If we measure it going this way, we get to 50. So both angles are going to be 50 degrees and 130 degrees. Okay, so we have PAL measures 50, SAL measures 130. Now, the only trouble is if you accidentally drew your line coming this way. It would still be, if your line went this way instead of that way, it would still be 50 and 130, but your labels would not match what they told you to do right there. Alrighty, hope you guys really learned some things about how to measure angles and straight angles, finding the other angle that goes with a straight angle. Make sure you go back and you do numbers 4, 5, and 6 if you have not already. And then you have a homework page that goes right along with this lesson for some extra independent practice. I hope you guys have a wonderful fall break. Thank you so much for being diligent and watching the videos. And I am so excited to see you guys on Wednesday. Be a blessing to your families and just enjoy being together for the very long weekend. See you guys later.